If you don't know your customer, you'll have no more customers. Let's talk about it next on The Brink.
Welcome to The Brink. You're joining a group of entrepreneurs, brand makers, business owners, decision makers, power brokers, and risk takers, where we discuss business and marketing issues with insightful solutions. This is The Brink with your hosts, Russell Sails and George Cartwright, reminding you that your business is either on the brink of extinction or distinction. Welcome.
What's up, man?
What is going on, George? Happy Quarantine Monday, my friend.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It is good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
Yes, sir.
In these trying times.
Yes, sir. These are trying times, but we have made it another Monday.
Yep, absolutely. And we want to thank you guys for joining us at this lunch hour for The Brink, where we discuss business and marketing issues that are affecting you and your endeavors, all of you entrepreneurs and brand managers and business owners trying to navigate these COVID-19 times, broadcasting live from Dallas, Texas, and from Atlanta, Georgia.
That's what's up.
We're today, and we're going to talk about know your customer or no more customers. And if you got any questions or comments, you can definitely submit those to us through our chat box at the OTBMG LLC page. And Don from New York, our friend Don is here again. Thanks, Don. Nice to see you. But let's jump right into it. How about that?
Let's do it.
So, know your customer or no more customers. What is that? What does that even mean for lots of folks who have had success building a client base and whatever endeavors you've had? You think you already know your customers, right? I mean, you've been bringing in a steady income from some support base. You even have had some referrals and some repeat customers. But you may be unsure as to how to expand or build your business, taking it to the next level, how to branch out. And so there's some things that we believe you need to know, need to understand. And that is, what do you think? Understand simply who's already buying from you. And almost just as important, I'm going to see if George agrees, know who is not buying from you.
Oh, absolutely. You certainly need to know who's buying from you and the why, and the customers that aren't buying from you and why. So that if you want those customers that aren't buying from you, if you want them to buy from you, then you got to figure out why that is. So there's it's both important. It's important both ways.
So the more information, the better in this sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you say, G?
Yep.
I would say that a lot of folks have had great ideas, and they've had the resources to put those ideas into play and created a business. And they've launched it and they've had some success, as I said before, but they haven't taken the time to, many haven't seen the need to create a business plan. And within that business plan, a marketing plan. So is that just a bunch of stuff that we ought to do, or is that beneficial? What's the point of having a marketing plan?
So, well, let's start with the business plan. The business plan does not have to be extensive. It could be a one-page business plan, and as simple as, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm trying to do, and this is when I'm trying to get there, right? I mean,
right.
A little more explicit than that, but basically that's a business plan. That's a one-page business plan that kind of lays it out. Now, after you have decided that these are the widgets that I'm selling, this is how many I need to sell, this is the time I want to sell them over, the next thing is, who do I need to sell it to?
What?
Who's going to buy my widgets? And so
everybody wants your widgets, G.
Probably not.
I'm making them for everybody.
Well, if you are making them for everybody, then you will sell them to nobody.
Oh.
Because you're not talking to anybody in particular. And that's, and we can get into, the widgets, because you might make pink widgets and you want to talk, I'm selling them to everybody, and guys don't want to buy pink widgets. Or there's some guys that don't want to buy pink widgets. There's some that might. But so then you need to know what it is that I need to say to the people that I'm selling this pink widget to. Those that like pink. Yo, you like pink? We got it in every color for you. Well, you're not talking to the people that like blue widgets, because they don't like pink widgets. So you're not selling it, and you're not making it for everybody, essentially. So you need to know who that person is and where they are, most importantly. But I'm sure you're gonna get to that.
No, you're leading us right into it. So in a formal marketing plan, those very things that you just mentioned are described as demographics.
Yeah.
Know who your target is. And often a part of that is, their name, their gender, as you said. Maybe it's targeting families, and more important, who's the decision maker in that family. Chances are it's females make purchasing decisions out of a family. Their age or age range. Location, are you selling to people on one particular coast or the other, or a region, or locally in your neighborhood? What's their income status, like their household income combined, because that differentiates if they can afford what you're selling,
right?
Or if you're going to put a sale out there, you know how to strategize for that. And if they're married or not. So that helps you craft your marketing messaging at some point. So those things go into a typical demographic for a marketing plan. There's also something called psychographics. And I think that's more on, you want to get beyond just how much do they make as a male or female. My question is, even now, do you know what your customer is doing right now? Should you know that? Is that valuable information?
And it's certainly valuable information as to what are they doing right now. Might be helpful to know where they are as well.
And where they're doing it.
Where they're doing it, yeah, absolutely.
Well, we probably got a good clue as to where most people are
right
in the U.S. Most of them are at home.
And if you're not at home, you should be at home.
Right.
So if you're watching this on your phone somewhere sitting in a Starbucks, which I doubt, I think most Starbucks are closed.
Right.
Go home.
But definitely psychographics get into a little bit more of the behavioral issues that your target market is, such as what social media groups are they a part of? What associations are they connected to? What do they read? What's their publications? And who do they look to for expertise? Who are their that they trust? What tools do they use, or groups that they're part of? Things like that. What opinions and behaviors and what events, when we could actually get out and about, what events do they attend, or what digital events are they attending? All of that is important.
Why? Well, I mean, really, why? Ultimately, why is that important? Why is it important to know, let's see, who do they follow? How does that benefit me and my business?
Well, let me use this analogy. When people were hunting for their food and the Native Americans were hunting, it was important for them not to know where the buffalo had been, but where their buffalo was going, so that they wouldn't have to chase the buffalo from behind. That's a lot of hard work.
That is.
I would dare say, meet them where they're going, and you'll have a surprise for them. So the same is true when you're hunting for your customer. Meet them at the watering hole. If they all like to hang out on Instagram and you know who the influencers are, then maybe you can connect with those influencers and put product in their hand or what have you, and have messaging, have a strategy to what you're doing, instead of just throwing your money around on the internet, hoping to get results that unfortunately may not be there had you strategized.
Right.
Does that help a little?
That does. That helps me understand that if I'm hunting, I don't need to be where the buffalo was. I need to be where they're going, where they're congregating around the water. I like it. I like it a lot. I like everything about it.
And what gets even better than that is something I think we want to dig even more into beyond demographics, psychographics, but creating a customer avatar.
Okay.
So you get a lot more specific. And this is your ideal customer. Who is your ideal customer? Who do you want to sell to that would not only be a customer, but they will become a fan. They will become your biggest cheerleader, and they will, without you prompting them, tell their friends and their community about your product. Whether it's a B2B or, you're selling to other businesses, or you may be just selling to people in your neighborhood. You need to identify theoretically who that is, what they look like, create a profile of them or an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And some would say, does my business need to create an avatar? What business do you think would not need to create one? I would dare say every business.
Every business needs to have one. Every business has customers, right? Yep. Everyone does. And it helps you to think about specifically what you could do for a type of customer, right? Most businesses don't have just one type of customer, but you should have, for your multiple customers, you need to have multiple messages. For your one type of customer, you have one message, right? If you're talking to a mother that is the head of a house that is making a buying decision for her family, you are saying certain key things to her to help her to make a buying decision, and that is a decision that is good for her family. If you're talking to a father that is making decisions, or he's, maybe he's a protector for his family, although these two people are the head of the home, they are making their buying decision based on different things. And so what you say to them is going to be slightly different, but it's still about your product, but slightly different, so that you are speaking directly to them, because they have different pain points. They have different things that they're looking at, different things that they're looking for in their buying decision. So it helps to have a message specific to a particular avatar, and all the way down to the name. Like try to get specific, it's Rachel is my Rachel is my avatar, and then who is Rachel and how old is she and that kind of thing. So you don't have to do this for 20,000 customers or whatever it is, but definitely know the one that you target the most, the one that spends the most money with you, that stays with you the longest, and what you need to say to them.
So for instance, that's good stuff. Like Smith & Wesson, their sales are gone up along with other gun manufacturers during this COVID-19 era. Right. I'm sure they have multiple avatars, but a couple that would stand out to me right now are based upon gender. Traditionally, the male traditionally would want to protect his family. The female gun purchaser, if she is a single mom and want to protect her family too, but usually pre-COVID-19, she's more concerned about her personal safety out and about. Maybe she works at night and wants to get from her place of work to her vehicle in a safe capacity. So they would target those a little bit different, same product, but as you said, their messaging is slightly different than both of them are of empowerment, but in a different way. Right. So I think that's what I think I hear you saying.
Absolutely. And the same gun. Let's say this gun for a guy you might say 16 in the clip and one in the hole, and then for the female you would say it doesn't have a whole lot of recoil, right? Same gun, But what are they concerned that, one has a little bit less strength or may have a little bit less hand strength, and they're concerned about, is it going to get away from me or whatever, right? So you can, this person wants to know how many people can I drop? And this person wants to know, is it going to get away from me if I shoot it? Anyways.
And that's good. And think about what you're saying. The words that's being used in advertising, in your marketing pieces, would go to back up that, as well as the imaging.
Right. You
wouldn't necessarily use the same images for the male gun purchaser as you would the female.
That's right. So that's it. Yes. So certainly important.
And even smart marketers would even gear their. I'm not touting Smith and Wesson, but other folks. Just an example. They have pink weapons now, pink firearms. I mean, they understood it. They even created their product itself to gear toward a certain audience, and that's all we're talking about, is being very deliberate and strategic about who your customer is. Because what will happen if you're not strategic and specific about your marketing and your advertising?
Then your message isn't to anyone in particular. And so it doesn't resonate with as many people as it would if you were targeting a specific group and a specific person. And so then you waste more advertising dollars trying to advertise to everybody, as opposed to advertising to the one person. And if you listen to a lot of marketing messages, you will see that they use this type of language. They use people to self-identify often in the first sentence that they, who they're talking to. If you are a single mother, boom, you already know. I'm gonna say, hold on a minute. And I start listening, right? They're talking to me, or this is for me. So even in if you start to listen to marketing messages, you'll see that they are calling out a specific person in their message.
And believe it or not, people like to be identified in a group.
That's right.
That I belong to, and they recognize that, and therefore they know that message is for me.
It's for me. Exactly.
Absolutely. We want to go on, or do we need to stop for a?
Well, we can always take a little break.
Powerful tool. But as a business owner, you might not have the time or know-how to realize its full potential. With social marketing, it's a breeze. By plugging your social accounts into a single dashboard, you can react quickly to customer feedback and post content across all of your main channels. But that's not all. The #1 benefit from social media is to attract new leads. And that's where social marketing gets really exciting. Using geo-targeted keyword searches, you can attract customers who are sharing their experiences and purchase intentions on social media. For example, here's Emma. Say Emma is passing through Seattle. She arrives at her hotel only to find out that they've overbooked, and now she's got nowhere to stay. Emma immediately sends an angry tweet to her 2,000 followers. You're a competing hotel manager, and since you're using social marketing, you detect Emma's tweet and are able to send her a reply within minutes. Emma's thankful for the response and comes to your hotel. She enjoys her stay and goes on to tell her friends how amazing your business is. Social marketing makes finding leads, curating content, and keeping customers happy that easy. Get in touch with us today to see how social media can strengthen your business.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry.
Okay. Cool. George and I are discussing, we're taking a slightly deep dive into what an avatar, customer avatar is for those of you just joining us. And it's really profiling who your ideal customer is, that person or people group that you are targeting. Because if you don't target, you will never hit anything. And so that's true in hunting, that's true in playing basketball, that's true in marketing and advertising. Absolutely. Don says that planning is preparation. Absolutely. I understand how you create a product, you have an idea, you have something to share, and you want to get out there as quick as possible. You know everybody's going to love it, and then it doesn't come back that you expected. And I would caution that you would pause for a minute and prepare some type of plan. In your business plan and your marketing plan, you allocate some funds to go toward advertising. But even as you're creating any type of digital ads or what have you, you want to know who you're speaking to. And that's basically what George and I are discussing. Do you have any tools that can help folks plan better?
We absolutely do. Depends on what they're trying to plan. If they're trying to plan a marketing plan, I think we have a one-page plan that they can get. We'll have it available for them tomorrow and give them where they can go and get it. So that they could do some of this work themselves, and that is to have a look at your avatar, know who your avatar is, and then have a plan for them. What's the language that you can use to target them, and ultimately, like, what kind of value can you bring them from one product and then multiple products over time, so that you can increase the long-term value of that customer, the lifetime value of that customer to your business, and then you can keep them in your orbit and ascend them up your value ladder. Oh, that's a lot. But
unpack that. We got a few minutes.
Okay. So you will see this happen. Let's use a grocery store. A grocery store will give you a coupon for 50 cent off, or they will have a sale. Some time ago, we used to call them lost leaders, where they just bring you into the store. A cup of coffee at McDonald's doesn't, that's part of their highs. But they will give you something, a dollar burger, a dollar cheeseburger, or something like that. That just brings you into the store, because they know that once you get in here, they can upsell you on, would you like fries with that? We got a special on a shake. We got 2 apple pies for $1, right? So once you have gotten them in, then you upsell them, and that increases that their value at that moment. But they know that, hey, if you like our 2 apple pies for $1, you may come back next week when we have something else. And so that and then they may be able to sell you 2 fries, two things for $1 this time, and then the next time you come in, you might want a big burger, Big Mac, or something like that, right? And so now you are spending more money with them because you trust them more. And next time you bring your friend on a date, because so that's word of mouth. You're telling somebody else, and so now it is you're taking them higher and higher and higher up your value ladder. Not you don't have McDonald's, but you have other products, right? You are a salon, and somebody comes in for a haircut, but then maybe you want to give them a facial, and you want to give them other products and introduce them to other things and services that you have. And so that's where you ascend them up your value ladder. That costs a little bit more as you spend more time with them. They have a deeper interaction with you, and so would you say you don't get a chance to have that opportunity to send a customer up their value ladder if you never really properly targeted that customer to begin with? That's true. If you don't get them in your door, you can't send them up your value ladder. No.
Right. So planning is everything, but then planning after you get the customer, because most of your business will grow is from repeat customers.
That's right.
It's often that, we got new sales, but it's those repeat sales that can continue to ascend. And that's if you have products that ascend in value, as you just said. You have other things beyond that one offering.
And you should, because that gives you some diversification, right? It gives you some options to serve your customer. If you only do one thing, very few companies now only do one thing. They only like one thing and one thing only. No, if you think about a lawn care service, they don't just cut grass. They do hedges, or they plant, or they will do flower beds, and they do all these other things. So it's not just we cut grass, right? If that's all you do, then at some point you're going to people are going to want more. They will actually ask you, well, do you do this as well? And so then you have to look at expanding your service, even if you have started with just one thing, because customers will ask you for something more as they begin to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, can you imagine a hairstylist who only cut hair?
No.
And didn't color,
wash hair, color hair, or
didn't do anything else. So that will be the case of any business. Have more than one product, have more than one service, be of value to that those people that you're targeting. And if you're properly targeting, you would know and begin to understand, excuse me, what their wants, needs, and desires are to begin with. But here's a good question. Sorry, I lost my earpiece. Good question is, how do you even get into a customer's head? How do you understand what their needs, desires, and thoughts are?
There are several ways, one of which is to ask them. Very simply, like survey your customers. Hey, this is what we do, or your potential customers even. This is what we do. What would you like to see in addition to these services, or how do you feel about these services, or things like that. So you can ask your potential customers, and guess what? You could do that if you know where they are. If they're in a group on Facebook, and you go into the Facebook group and you say, "Hey, look, I'm here, and I just want to know your opinion on this." People want to give you their opinion. They want to tell you what they think. They want to tell you what they like and they don't like. They want to have these conversations. So ask. It's simple. You don't have to guess.
Are there any unspoken rules about joining Facebook groups, fishing for customers?
I wouldn't say to fish for customers. You are going, yes, there are some. I don't know if the rules are unwritten. It's some of them, but some groups make it very explicit, like you can't go in and ask for customers, right? But what you can do is go in and give value to the group, add value. You're not in there asking for, hey, does anybody need XYZ? But people have questions. And if you go in and you legitimately answer their question, and you comment on other people's posts, you give value to other people, then that is going to be returned. Like that seed that you plant is going to sprout fruit at some point. People will want to know more about what you know and what you do, and how, and possibly how you can do it for them, or how they could do it with you. So yes, go to Facebook groups. Don't ask them to hey, this is what you come give me some business. Do contribute to the conversation. Add value.
Add value.
I
think we have do we have time for one more question?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
What can a business learn from someone who doesn't buy from them, and how do you find out this information if they're not purchasing from you?
Well, so in what regard? Like either they have come to your page, they've come to your e-commerce site and gone away, left a cart, or I mean, like how, where in the buying process were they? Is a question that I would ask. And then there are so we're in the buying process, because there are different approaches. If somebody comes, like let's say you have an e-commerce business and people come to your page and they leave, they put products in a cart and then they leave, right? If you have properly set your page up with Facebook retargeting pixels and other codes, then you can send them an email that says, hey, you know what? You left your cart and why? Or, and then you can also offer them something. But ultimately, it's still about, you can ask them why, ask them to come back, share something with them. So there's that. So there's one thing. Don said that you can share solutions, and he's referring to Facebook groups, I'm sure, share solutions that solve problems inside the Facebook groups that you visit. And that will get you more customers. You are absolutely right, Don. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Be a subject matter expert.
Absolutely. Did you have any other ideas about how you ask customers why they didn't buy from you, or what you could do?
No, I think you nailed it. I think it's important to have a sales funnel. If you have a digital business that would do what you just said, not let everybody who's shopped online have experience from good marketers or good websites where you changed your mind and you decide to leave, or you was just about to leave their home page and it says, don't leave yet without getting something. Yes. And they say, here's something that you might want. So a retargeting or re-engagement, they don't always come out and ask, why didn't you buy from me? But there's a way you can create other offers and then engage with them in that way. I do agree with having create your own group on Facebook, and not to sell your product, but to discuss the issues that your product solves. And so you leave it open-ended for people to just offer their opinions and their thoughts about that category, and you can glean a lot. That's if you don't want to buy your own market research or get into studies that way. You can create your own ad hoc focus group and get a lot of insight that way.
All right. So we are, as we're coming to the end, we have been talking about know your customer, or no more customers. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up? We do want to invite you to go to onthebrinkmarketinggroup.com/snapshot. If you would like a look at your business and how prepared your business is to deal with customers, your website, your retargeting, your listings, can your customers find you that are looking for you? Those kinds of questions can be answered if you go to onthebrinkmarketinggroup.com/snapshot. Get a 360 look at your business for free.
Free. Final thoughts are these. Business growth requires consistency, which requires a strategic approach. Knowing who buys from you and who doesn't provides invaluable insight that allows you to adjust how you communicate with people and who you want to sell to. Create a customer avatar and use it on a regular basis when marketing. Happy hunting. Till tomorrow.
All right, y'all take care.